Hello everyone, welcome to Art webinar. Today I'm going to be your host and my name is Isadora. I'm going to talk about emotional design and I'm part of the faculty of Foundation here at Art and I hope to meet every one of you. So emotional design, what it is and how you can use it in your daily basis in order to create better projects and in order to sell more and create an empathy with your client. So, emotions and design. What emotion is really related to design? What do you think when you say emotion? Do you think like emotions? We have anger, we have passion, we have love, but usually we don't relate this kind of feelings with products, with something that we are used in your daily basis. So, for example, I bet all of you love your cell phone. This is an emotion that you have towards a product, towards a feeling, towards a real life object. So sometimes we have this kind of feeling, but we don't understand how we get to love something. How do we get to love a product itself? So for that, we need to comprehend what is going to a product. So how do you understand these emotions and these different levels in a product itself? So what makes a product? We have three main factors. We can define a product based on its function, or meaning like how the product it works. You can relate a product based on the shape of the product itself and towards its meaning. On this slide that we have right now, so this was the concept, this was the meaning of the product. So we as designers, we can create products, and when I say products, I mean like any kind of product, not only industrial products, but also like garments, jewelry, and furniture. All of them are related, all of them are products. So how do you create something that it's in a deeper level? It's something that it has meaning on it, and not only the function itself. So, and the function, sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. On this image that we have, on this slide, you can see three different teapots, and these three teapots, they don't work. They have the function, the way that the product should behave, it's not there. So that's why we think that these products are strange, they are different, and it gives us a different feeling about it. And it's about that, like the function, when you see a product, you think, okay, a product must work. A product has a final purpose on its life. So the function really defines what the shape and how a product should behave. The other level that we have And if a product doesn't work, it's called affordance. When you see a product and you see if it's going to work or not, you have this kind of sensation based on the shape of the product itself. So let's have, for example, these three kind of switches that we have. So if you have buttons, you know that, okay, this is going to turn on the lights based when you push it. Good, you understand how the products go. When you have a flip, you understand that, okay, you just have to do this and then the lights will turn on. But when you have a knob, you already understand that when you change the direction of it, the light's going to be brighter or darker. So it has all these nuances, all these different shapes of the light can be, only based on the function itself of the product. The switch itself doesn't have nothing much. It's only a small part of the product, but in the end it passes you so many information that you already understand how the product is going to be. And this is called affordance, okay? The other way to relate to a product is based on a shape, and this is based on an archetype. I don't know if most of you understand what an archetype is, but an archetype is an image built on your brain of a product itself. So when I say a cell phone, or when I say a telephone, for example, the image that you all probably have in your mind is that really old cell phone, the one that you can have a dial on it and you go to one side and to the other side. So this is the basic image of a telephone that you have on your mind. So this is called archetype. And the shape itself can differ, but every time that I say telephone, you will think about it. You will think about this specific shape, because the design of it was so iconic that in the end you have this kind of image. Everybody has this kind of image in their mind. The same thing when I say about a chair. So when I say a chair, you probably think of the most basic chair that you have. So it's the first image that you guys are seeing in the PPT. So it's the basic chair, pretty similar to this one that I'm sitting right now. So this is the image that we have, but we can play around with it. So when I say chair, you think of this basic one, but there are different shapes and different sizes of a chair. So the second image that we have on the PPT, it's a really wavy one. At first, when you think of a chair, you don't think about this shape, but when you see it, you comprehend that this is a chair and what is the function behind it. The other one that we have, it's a chair created by the Ames. And it's a really comfy chair, and again, it's not on your mind, this kind of chair. What we have is an archetype. This is the shape of a chair. So we can do further design based on the shape itself. So we can take an archetype, an icon of a product, and change the shape, change the dimensions, and change the proportion of it in order to create a totally brand new chair. And the next one, the next level that we have when we say a product, it's meaning, that it's all about what emotional design is all about. So take a look on this poster that we have right now. This poster is a watch poster, and you can see, okay, this poster, we already know that it's for men, based on the color scheme that we have and based on the actor that we have. So, okay, what is this ad telling us about it? So they are telling that if you have this watch, you probably would be almost like a James Bond. Probably not a James Bond, not a real life James Bond, but at least like you will have the same feeling of it. You will have like the same sensation. Okay, if I put this watch on, I'm going to feel like really dangerous and really smart. And this is the kind of feeling, this is the kind of emotion that we want to pass through. So this ad is important because of that. Because it brings meaning, it brings value to the product. Okay? And why meaning is important? Why emotions are important? Because it's a way to make it sell. It's a way to stand out from the crowd. It's a way to bring some kind of experience to the user. So this is why it's important, meaning and emotions in a product. So, okay, we have a phrase here. The only way to compete has been to add new meanings to products, making a difference and bringing some reasons to convince consumer to buy one product in place of the other. So again, it's important to bring new meanings because we have a huge types of sizes and prices of products. But how do you convince someone to have your product? How do you do that? You have to bring something new, something that excites the user, something that will bring value to the product. And that's why emotional design is really important, because it's all based on this experience, based on bringing new meanings to a product. And this way, the way that we bring meanings, it's a way to communicate with the users that we have. It's a way to translate what your company is all about, of what your design is all about. So we need to have this kind of translation, having something that it's really emotional and it's something that it's really inside of us, something that only we can feel. And how do you translate that to a real product? How do you translate to something that you can touch, something that you can smell, something that you can squeeze? So this is really important. How do you translate a feeling, an emotion, to a real life product? So this is what emotional design is all about. And having this in mind, having this kind of translation, we have 3 different levels, again, of how a product and how emotional design behaves. So the first one, it's called Visceral Level. So Visceral Level, what it is? It's when you see a real nice and good looking product and you say, I like this product. This product really, it's going to show how I am, so, or something that I want to be. So see these 2 products that we have over here. So we have a Lamborghini and we have a new Beetle. You can see clearly the difference between these 2, and you can see the feeling that they have are completely different. So if a person wants to buy a Lamborghini, they are going to buy because, okay, this is almost like a Fast and Furious feeling, so I'm going to be like super fast, super dangerous, I'm going to be the top. So this is a feeling that the user are trying to show to people. So, okay, I want to buy the Lamborghini because it shows that I'm dangerous. So you are using a product to translate what you are or what you want to be. The same thing with the new Beetle. The new Beetle, it's cute. It's all round. It's really round shaped and really cute. And it's almost like a pet. It's not about the function itself. It's more about the sensation that you're going to have when riding a Beetle. So it's going to be like a ride smooth. It's something that is going to take in a way that is going to be more beautiful than the others. So this is the sensation that people want when they are buying a new Beetle. They want to be cute. They want to show off that, okay, this is who I am. This is who I want to be. I want to be something that it's really small and nice. So, but in the end, these 2 products, they have the same function. They are going to take you from one point to another. But the way that you want to translate yourself during this walk is the key, is the difference. The other level that we have, it's called behavior. So it's all about accomplishing something. So imagine that you have a cell phone, an old cell phone. I imagine that all of you already had. And in the end, you feel like the cell phone is dying. It's not working properly. So you try to click on an app and it's not working. It takes ages to open it, and then when you want to call an Uber, suddenly the app closes and you're not able to go to another point. Or you want to take a photo and you don't have enough space on your cell phone. This can happen. And what you feel is frustration. You feel frustrated with the product. You feel that the product is not working. So it's based on the behavior that you have with your product. If a product is working, if the product is good, you will feel happy about it. You will create an emotion towards the product. So if a product is good, if you don't feel frustrated, if it works, you will feel happy with the product, and you will create a healthy relationship with this product. And probably if a product is good, you imagine, okay, if the cell phone works, I will buy the TV, I will buy the camera, I will buy different things of this brand, because it works so well that I bet that all the other products will work really nicely too. And the most important level that we have, it's called reflective design, and this is about how we embrace the product itself. This is like how you want people to really perceive you, and how people want to understand of who you are. We have an example over here. We have the iWatch. So most of you probably already know this is not a new product itself, but it was a major hype when it started. But think about the function. This is a watch. What is the difference from this watch to this one that I have over here? I still can see the time, maybe even worse than on iWatch than this one that I have. But why people buy it? It's because of the cell phone, because it has, you can take calls on it? Probably not. If you have your cell phone, the cell phone would be even better than the watch itself. But so in the end, it's not really working as a watch, and it's not really working as a cell phone. But why people buy it? Why people want to have this watch? Somehow feels strange, like doesn't make sense. When you think through all the steps, all the functions of the product, you don't understand why people want it. But it's because of behavior. So people want to have the iWatch, want to have this kind of iWatch, because they want to show, okay, I'm a high-tech person. I like to have the latest trends. I like to have what is new. So the level behind it goes beyond the function, goes beyond the shape of the product itself. It's related to the feeling. It's related to the emotion. It's related of the way that you want to be perceived by other people. So the Lamborghini image that we have, okay, you want to be as strong and as fast as the Lamborghini. But the iWatch goes beyond that. You don't want to be a watch. There's not a really a meaning, a shallow meaning when you see the iWatch. It has something behind it. It goes beyond the function. So are you guys trying to understand me? Are you understanding? So it goes way more than the product itself. It's related to the function. Oh, it's not related to the function. It's related to the emotion. So why people make huge lines to buy it? It's because of that. They want to show off what they can do, what they are, what they can be. And here we have some other examples of products that are really related to emotion. The first company, when you think about emotional design, it's called Alessi. It's an Italian company, and it usually calls different designers from different places of the world to collaborate with them. The juice squeezer that I show you guys in the beginning of the presentation is sold by Alessi. And again, why is that? Because Alessi wants to be known as a brand that sells emotion, that sells different sensations, that sells different experience for the users. So on this slide, we have a bottle opener. But see how it's fun, how it's cute, how it's something that you probably wouldn't think when you say a bottle opener. It's something that is completely different. It's something that it adds a sensation, adds a happiness in your daily life. So imagine you're in the kitchen, okay, you don't want to do that dish, you have to create something for you to eat, for you not to starve, and you say, okay, I have to do this really boring task. But when you see a bottle opener that it's as happy as these ones, you say, okay, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it gladly. I'm going to do this dish with happiness. And this is what emotional design is all about. Bring happiness, bring a different experience to the user. And people who buy a lassi, they keep buying it because they want this sensation. They want to keep having this kind of feeling. See these two images that we have over here on our PPT. The one that we have over there is a teapot, and this teapot, it has a little bird on top of it. So every time that the water is hot, the whistle blow, it's similar to a bird singing. So, okay, they saw the function of the teapot itself and said, okay, how we can bring emotion, how we can bring a sensation, a new feeling to it. So then they said, okay, the sound, something that it's not related to the product itself when you think about it, the sound itself gives a different vibe. It gives us a different sensation. It's how you know that something is ready. So they decided to play around with it. The same thing with the other product next to it. It's a place for you to put candy. But candy, okay, always a good thing to have. It's always a happy thing to have in between the meals. But they decided, okay, candy really brings the sensation of joy, of happiness. And what else brings us this sensation? The circles. So they decided to create a huge collection based on the happiness that the circles brings with different products that brings this kind of sensation too. So the candy itself and the circuit, they are really related. But they are related not about the function and not about the shape, but they are related with the emotion itself, with the feeling. And the same thing we can do with jewelry. Most of you probably already know this brand, Pandora, pretty huge brand. And they have these little icons that you can put on your bracelet. Why do you think this was a huge hit for the brand? Because you can express yourself through this bracelet. You can put your different experience. You can show off to the, okay, I have been to this place. I have been to Paris. I have enjoyed it. I have took a lot of photos. You express yourself through the brand. And the brand and the designer needs to be aware of these emotions and this experience and how they can put this in a real life product. Because people want to personalize it. People want to custom the products that they have. They want to see themselves in the product. So that's why it's so important for us to have this in mind as a designers. The same thing with the engagement rings and wedding rings. They are a symbol. They go, goes beyond the jewelry itself, goes beyond the ring. It goes to a deeper level. It goes to the meaning behind it. So you're making a commitment. You're making a commitment to life. So see the importance and the value of it. It goes way beyond the function. The same thing with the necklace that we have on this presentation. It's fun. It shows that you are related, you like science things, you like fun things. So every single one of these examples, it has meaning. It has something that brings value to the product itself and to the company. The same thing with Funko. We have these little toys. People don't buy Funko toys because of the function. It's not because of that. People want to relate with the company. People want to relate with the character that they are selling. So on the presentation we have Finding Nemo characters. People want to relate with Nemo. People want to relate with the cuteness of Dory, how she forgets things. People want to embrace the coolness of Bruce. So every single one of the characters, they have a meaning. And this is what is selling over here. It's not the product itself, but the meaning and the story behind it. the same thing with Mosquito. Mosquito is a huge brand, and what they are selling, it's not the color of the clothes, it's not like the fashion itself, it's about the story behind it. So they made a collection based on McDonald's. They didn't use the McDonald's itself, but you can see clearly. So this is something that it's different. It's something that it's breaking barriers. It's mixing the really fast food, the commercial thing with fashion. Something that you usually don't relate. So they are adding value, they are adding meaning to the product. The same thing with SpongeBob. Why people want things related with the character? Why they created a collection based on SpongeBob? Because it's fun. It has a story behind it. It's something that you don't see on your everyday life. You usually see black clothes, jeans, that's it, kurtas, but overall people want to have fun with the clothes that they have. So that's all what the Mosquito brand was trying to show. Was trying to show fun, something that is breaking barriers. And of course, we have the same way to do this with interior design as also. So you can do this with furniture. Imagine these furnitures on your house. These are fun furniture. Not all of them. You can see there is one that looks really sad, a cabinet that looks really sad, but it still has a story behind it. It has an experience behind it. On these examples, I want each one of them. The sad cabinet, you want to sit next to him and say, okay, what's happening? Why are you sad? What is happening? The other one, the red dress, I would love to have this and put all my luxurious clothes on it. See, the product itself, it has a function, yes it has, but it has a story behind it. And we have to embrace this. Sharing this new experience, giving experience to the user is the new thing that is coming. And we as designers, we have to be aware of that. And so in the end, what emotional design is all about? Just to recap. Is relating feelings with function, with shapes, with the design process. And in the end, it's more than a product. Is to create a fidelity, is to create an experience with the user. And this is why it's so important for us to embrace the feelings and put them on a real life project. And of course, the emotional design, it has some flaws on it. It's not perfect because there is not a real thing to do. Like there is not like step by step. You really have to create a really strong and deep concept to your product in order to really translate this kind of emotion. So now we are going to open some few questions of you guys. So the first question that we have is, feelings are not physical. How come we can design a feeling? Okay, so a feeling is something, it's not physical, but it's something that you can put into words, right? So if you're feeling sad or if you're feeling happy, let's have, for example, I'm feeling happy. So, but I'm feeling happy because of something happening. I feel happy because I had an ice cream and today is really hot and I'm happy. So what do you feel when you have an ice cream? You feel fresh. You feel happiness, but it's because of the freshness of it. And how do you translate this kind of freshness to a product? You can create a product that it has really slim curves, so you can feel like the freshness of it, you don't stop in a product. Or maybe you can relate freshness and happiness through a color. So most of the refreshing drinks like Sprite, for example, they use green and bright yellow because it gives you the sensation of freshness and happiness, and seeing the whole bottle, the whole shape and the color itself makes it, you can really understand the feeling and the emotion behind it. Okay, hope that I solved you. The second question is, you are talking about function in design. How is this important in fashion or jewelry design? This is extremely important. If a cloth it's not functional, if you need to change anything in a cloth, do you think people will want to have this kind of clothes? Like if I have a dress, a really nice dress, and I need to run a marathon, don't you think that the function is important? The dress was not created to have this kind of function, to give me the ability and the freedom to run. So that's why function is really important to the garments, because you need to be aware of how the user is going to use. The same thing with jewelry. If the jewelry is not comfortable, if it doesn't have a purpose of it, usually the jewelry, it has the purpose of embellishing and telling a story. But again, this is the function. So if the product is not accomplishing this function, the product will not sell and will not sell the concept behind it. Okay? The third question. I am a science graduate. Do you think I can take design at higher study? Okay. Simran Aurora. Yes, of course you can. So we have, I'm talking about emotional design, but we have a different field of design that it's called biomimicry, sorry about that, and biomimicry and bionics, that it's trying to understand the science, how the science works, and how you can use biology and different mechanisms that science and biology have already created in order to put this in real life products. So the function of the product and the meaning behind it goes beyond the design field. Design is a really multidisciplinary field, so every field that we have that can collaborate with design is really, really important. Okay, next question. The kind of products we buy or are produced, are they because we have a necessity of them or not our emotion? So see, necessity, what is a necessity? Do you really, really need a new cell phone to survive? Like, you are going to die if you don't have the cell phone, this new iPhone. I don't think so. The necessity is a really strong word. Necessity, usually in design, is something that we create. Designers create the necessity. Because to a human being, what we need actually to survive is, we need a safe place to live, we need water, we need air, and some kind of food. But do you need a specific brand to live? No, you don't. So the necessity we create as designers. We say to people, see, you have this awesome brand, but you need more. So we create this kind of feeling, this kind of urgency to have a new product. Okay? So next question, can you explain how design is important in your daily life? Of course I can, but it's going to be hard for me to explain how important, because it's so important, the design in a daily life. Let's take, for example, let's see, a spoon, something that is really, really common. It's something that we use in our daily basis, and it's something that probably you didn't think that it has design on it. So when you have these really bad plastic spoons and the shape is wrong and you put it in your mouth, the spoon almost like hurts your mouth. And this is a basic design. And it's something that we can see in our daily life. So if a design of a product is not working, if the function is not working, if the product is, you have to modify at any point, if the pattern that it has on a cloth it's not working, or if the earring that you have, the back part keeps falling, this is not a good design. So you identify bad designs in our daily lives, but we usually don't identify good designs in our daily life. Because design is so important, because it shows if a product is working or not. Okay, next question. how to make our design different from others. There's a big competition in design field, so how we can make our design different? This is a very good question. So design is what makes a product different and what make the product stand out. But to design a new product, it's something that it's really complicated, and it's a really huge process, and that involves a lot of research and a lot of different tools and techniques. And here at Arch, we are going to teach you how to do this, because it's really important for you to understand these tools, because it goes beyond the function itself, it goes beyond the aesthetics, the styling. It's a combination of both. It's a combination of the function and the beauty part. And how do you create a concept? How do you embrace both of them in order to create a really strong product? This is a really good question, but it would take me like almost days of webinar to explain to you. Okay? Thank you all for joining us. It was a huge pleasure to have you here, and stay tuned. On this Friday, we are going to have another webinar. So please join us, and through this whole month, we are going to have lots of different topics and different, it's really special people to say that to you, okay? Please visit our page on facebook.com/arch and be updated with our latest events and latest news, okay? Thank you so much.